Happy Thanksgiving for everybody. It's a long fantasy football season, so I just wanted to let everyone know that I am very thankful for the growth that this channel's had. We've got big things coming in the offseason as well, but for now, let's go ahead and talk about Week 13 waiver wire. Starting it off with Trey Benson. He's highly rostered, but he should be picked up if he is available. I was surprised he was available in about 40% of leagues, but he should be the main running back for the Cardinals, who have been fantasy relevant ever since Jacoby Brissett. But I think the running back everyone was coming here for was Devin Neal. He's highly available in leagues right now. Alvin Kamara, as of right now, is banged up. He's dealing with an MCL sprain, so we should see him sidelined for probably this week and maybe future weeks as well. Saints have the 9th easiest matchup for running backs rest of the season. I really enjoyed his film as a prospect. The TLDR on it is my notes were he's a patient runner. He's not flashy. He won't house a run, but he has very good hands when he's asked to be a receiver, which we saw a little bit of that on display here in Week 12. Kyle Monungai is available in about half of leagues as well. Since Week 12, we've seen DeAndre Swift and Monungai on the field together. Monungai has 5 carries inside the 10. Swift has 3. It's not a crazy discrepancy between the two, but Monungai has found the end zone in 3 weeks in a row. In Week 12, he had more carries and snaps than DeAndre Swift, so that's something worth monitoring. Chris Rodriguez, a lot of people dropped him off onto the waiver wire in Week 12 because the Commanders were on bye. Now, there's nothing crazy impressive from the Commanders' backfield. They all kind of take opportunities away from each other. And Bashaw Tutin, he's available in about half of leagues. Now, if we watched him in Week 11, you would suggest that we're going to see a lot more from Tutin going forward. After his career day in Week 11, Week 12, he was back to his normal role. He's a high-end handcuff for Travis Etienne, but it is a reminder, this time of the season, go ahead and get your handcuffs. If you're unclear who your starting running back's handcuff is, or if they even have one, I have a tier list of handcuff running backs. It's in the link in my bio. Now let's talk about wide receivers. A lot of names that are kind of repeat from last week, but Christian Watson starts it off. He's available in about half of leagues. He's had 40 or more receiving yards in all 5 of his games so far this season. The volume has been ticking up just a little bit, but he's always a home run threat and a deep shot, so we do like that from Christian Watson. Jaden Higgins, he's available in about 80% of leagues. I talked about him last week in my wide receiver video, not in the waiver wire video, but 7 or more targets in 4 out of his last 5 games, 3 touchdowns in 5 games. His role down the stretch of the end of the season could increase. We see that oftentimes with rookie running backs and rookie wide receivers. Parker Washington, available in about half of leagues. He's had a touchdown or 90 yards in 3 out of his last 4 games. Now, he's a fine option, but I do have concerns once Brian Thomas Jr. does come back. Andre Yoshivash, he's available, highly available. He was perfectly fine last week. He should be perfectly fine this week with T. Higgins sidelined because he's already been ruled out with a concussion. And Chimere DK, he's available widely, but he's quietly almost on pace to break the single season all-purpose yards record held by Darren Sproles. Now, Cam Ward looked a little bit better last week. Chimere DK, a rookie wide receiver with the rookie quarterback, maybe they start to get in sync as the season goes on. And a super deep name for you guys in deeper leagues, John Mechie of now the New York Jets. He's been decent these last few weeks, so you could look at him as a deep flyer. On to tight end, I started off with a guy I mentioned last week, Brenton Strange. Now, he's widely available. Strange ended up coming back to the fold almost immediately after that. Had a great week in Week 12. Had 5 catches, 93 yards. I don't think you can set it and forget it with Strange, but he does have the 7th easiest rest of season schedule for tight ends. And Colston Loveland, he's had 40 or more yards in 4 consecutive games. That's pretty good consistency from the tight end position. If he gets into the end zone, like most tight ends, you're going to be one of the top tight ends on the week. It's not a great matchup in Week 13. However, Theo Johnson, now, he's a little bit more rostered, but I wanted to go ahead and mention it. He's been making plays all over the field. He's been okay with Winston. He's been much better with Dart, so hopefully Dart returns in Week 13. And Dalton Schultz, available in about half of leagues. You might be hesitant to go right back to him, but I will tell you he's playing the Colts, and they give up the 6th most fantasy points to tight ends. And Darren Waller, just like I was talking about with Brenton Strange, once we see him get back into the fold, he might be a top option for you, and if you're struggling at tight end, that might be exactly what you need. There are no teams on bye in Week 13, so you're probably not crazy desperate, but I literally have 0 confidence in any of the other quarterbacks outside of Trevor Lawrence versus Tennessee. He's available in about half of leagues. He's turned the ball over 4 times just last week and had an interception in 4 straight games. He's only had 2 games under 10 fantasy points, and both of those came against the Houston Texans, who we know are elite against quarterbacks. The Titans, they are not elite against quarterbacks. They give up the 6th most fantasy points to quarterbacks over the past month. Now, I know I don't have a lot of streaming quarterbacks on here, literally just one, but if you want to know where I rank the quarterbacks, you can click the link in my bio and see my Week 13 rankings. And I won't be streaming on Thanksgiving, which probably shouldn't be a surprise to anybody, but you can find me live each and every single day on YouTube and on TikTok. And last but not least, let's talk about some streaming defenses. Jags, 49ers, Rams, Falcons, and Chargers. They're all good or great defenses facing against quarterbacks and teams who turn the ball over or not producing a lot of yards. So these are some great defenses that are very highly available. Once again, thank you guys for making it to the end of the video. Happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays.